Let me say that on behalf of all of us. Ukraine is fighting for the liberation of all its temporarily occupied territories and full restoration of territorial integrity within internationally recognized borders. Good afternoon, it is Henry Keane on UATV English bringing the hard truth in easy terms as usual for the whole free world directly from Ukraine. These days we observe what the Russian occupiers are doing and what kind of trials our citizens under Russian oppression and occupation have to go through. We are making every effort imaginable to free them as soon as possible.
Every day, our cities, villages in the regions bordering Russia and along the front line are subjected to terrorist attacks by the occupier. And every day, our people receive help there, which is very important. No matter what happens, Ukrainians take care of each other and the state remains functional. Ukraine cannot be defeated because our people cannot be defeated.
Forced passportization of Ukrainians, which is carried out by the Russian occupation administration, is illegal and worthless, if that even worth to be noticed. The occupiers spare no one. Psychological pressure and intimidation, blackmail and torture, making people's life unbearable in any way so that they agree to accept Russian passport. Those who refuse are threatened with forced deportation to the territory of the Russian Federation, cancellation of any social help, if there is any out there, and confiscation of property. The purpose of all this process is to legitimize all that: the annexation of Crimea, the occupation of Donbas, and the newly occupied territories of Ukraine after a full-scale invasion, the artificial development of prerequisites of Russia's further intervention in the internal affairs of Ukraine, the idea to change and exploit the demographic situation on the occupied territories, as well as to decrease in any way possible the chances of these territories returning back to Ukraine. Russians collect any personal data to strengthen their control over occupied authorities, to put pressure on people, which allows the Kremlin to terrorize people more and more by cutting Ukraine's ties with its citizens. The occupiers intimidate the residents of the temporarily occupied territories with the revenge of the Ukrainian authorities when our lands will return. Well, here little something is from me and President Zelensky and all of the Ukraine to Comrade Putin and his reserve dogs. Dear fellow Ukrainians, if your life is in danger, if danger is imminent and pressure is way harsh for you to go on, accept Russian citizenship. Stay alive. That's everything that matters. That's very important, most important. Russia cannot deprive Ukrainians of citizenship, as citizenship is not a passport. It's a state of mind. So again, if you can't take it anymore, accept what is coming. That does not by any means mean a collaboration. So do not be afraid. Let those who joined our enemy and its occupation administration and openly contributes to strengthening the occupation regime to be afraid. As the Ukrainian Defense Forces approaches closer, they have more and more reasons for that. On October 16th, the tanker Ali Najafov was damaged as a result of a mine detonation off the coast of Romania in the Black Sea. The vessel suffered minor damage, no one on board was injured. Russian criminal aggression against Ukraine has turned the Black Sea into a theater of war, with an increased and increasing every day danger to navigation. Civilian vessels in the Black Sea are under significant danger of a mine explosion. This is the second time in October alone a vessel was damaged due to a sea mine. The mine threat is nothing new for Black Sea countries. So effective trawling of the fairway will significantly contribute to the safety of the functioning of the new sea corridor established by Ukraine after the withdrawal of Russia from the grain deal. Ukraine welcomes the initiative of Turkey, Romania and Bulgaria to jointly counteract sea mines and is ready to make every effort to ensure the safety of Black Sea shipping.
We are working as hard as we can to give our warriors more air defense, to give more protection to our cities so that they can maintain life, including economic life, plus the development of our industries, including defense production.
It is solely because this corridor exists, Ukraine managed to restore the operational activity of the Black Sea ports, despite all the attempts of the Russian blockade. And Ukraine has demonstrated its ability to ensure exports without the participation of Russia. The experience of the grain initiative showed the Russia's participation, it was only a hindrance because the Russians sabotaged sea transportation by unreasonably delaying inspections, for example. Well, that is nothing new. Russia continues its attempt to stop the work of the Black Sea ports of Ukraine by systematic attacks with missiles and drones on ports and its infrastructure. The operation of the grain corridor requires investment in the security of international partners of Ukraine and countries worldwide especially vulnerable to food security issues. Oh, those Russians, while they can't live well in Russia, they come out to the world with weapons in their hands and national Russian idea in their heads to degrade any place to Russia's level. President of Russia, Comrade Putin, began his visit to China to see his Comrade Xi Jinping within the framework of the Third International Forum One Belt, One Road, whatever that means for both autocratic comrades. Due to the indictment of the International Criminal Court, Comrade Putin cannot enter most of the countries of the world. Therefore, he only visits the countries where he is still invited. Or not really sorry. Putin's visit to China is not of governmental, state or political nature. It takes place within the framework of a multilateral format. Putin's head of one of multinational dragon of delegations sent to China. Under Putin's leadership, Russia achieves a lot, actually. Like deepens its international isolation, for example, or becomes more vulnerable and autocratic than ever before. Therefore, it is trying to become, if not an ally, then somewhat at least a vassal of the People's Republic of China, while Ukraine places its own international bid.
It is important for us to involve China in the peace formula. It is important for us to bring the Global South specifically to our side. All of this will have an impact, and there will be real, concrete, not abstract political isolation of Russia. Political isolation is always followed by economic isolation. These are very important steps. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, at a discussion panel of the Yalta European Strategy.
By starting the full-scale war in Ukraine, Russia has clearly trapped itself. And its Tsar's behavior today is becoming more impulsive and more dangerous as he loses grounds, both battle and political. Worth noticing, Putin last visited Beijing in February 2022, a few days before that, sending tens of thousands of Russian troops to Ukraine. Then he and Xi announced what they called a limitless partnership between their countries, respectively. And what will be the consequences of today's visit, we will see in a few days or weeks, or we won't see that ever, as there could be no result. In easy terms, it's not for Russia to make a call, but for China to decide on the level and scope of possible Russian-Chinese relations. Beijing fully enjoys cheap energy resources, which Russia can no longer sell in the West, or at least openly, but is in no hurry to meet Moscow's urgent needs and sky-high expectations. The United States intelligence report released in July says Beijing is pursuing a variety of economic support mechanisms for Russia that mitigate both the impact of Western sanctions and export controls. It cited China's increased purchases of Russian energy exports, the increased use of its currency in transactions with Russia, and the probable supply of dual technologies and items which could be deployed for both civilian and military purposes, such as drones, for example, for use in Ukraine, of course. China has consistently denied such allegations and insists it maintains a neutral position on the war. Well, while it may say all that, Russian Finance Minister Anton Siluanov just can't keep a secret a secret. At a meeting of the Russian State Duma Committee on Budget and Taxes, he said, I quote, "Today drones are mainly from the People's Republic of China. We are grateful to our partners." So the task of all Western politicians is to offer China a comfortable place at the side of truth and international law and order, and not international terrorism. It was Andrew Keane, as usual, on UATV English, hoping to give you the hard truth in easy enough terms on our daily wrap-up today. Comment, like and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters a lot to us. Stay safe and tune for more. See you very soon.